being here. Sacrifices, tricksters, and nymphs. Nymphs. I love my nymphs. Who are you? Me? Yeah.
Hi, I am Tricky. I'm a Harpy Dragon Vtuber. Days are like 12 hours in the book because I'm psycho a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I do like a lot of green reality content, a lot of gaming, like Smite, Baldur's Gate.
Who's your favorite Baldur's Gate character?
I don't think anyone knows. I do a lot of other things too, like I do singing, but I don't really do it as often. And then I have another character named Newville, who I also debuted on my channel, and she's really the sweet. I know it. But
I stream, my YouTuber's name is Mimcubus, and Mim is a trans succubus, trans like myself as well, and my content can also be described as ADHD chaos and very painful puns. I stream on Twitch. I also stream on Blue Twitch. And produce both safe for work and unsafe for work content. I do not stream for 12 hours. Usually about 4 or 5. But yeah, I love streaming on Twitch so much. I'm also a professional voice actress. I've voiced in over 400 anime. For that, you might know some of my characters: Armin Arlert in Attack on Titan, Yuri Kotsky and Yuri on Ice.
Togoyami Fumikage from My Hero Academia.
Issei from High School DxD, and many more. And I'm so excited to be here with these lovely people.
Who are you?
yeah.
You're important.
What? You're important to us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that dog. See, someone get a list on that.
This is what happens. You don't even need to try. All three of them. It's just instantly. So VTubing is a deeply personal medium for content creation. VTubing is a deeply personal medium for content creation because it allows for so much creativity and personal input. But you literally get to choose how you portray yourself. So how did each of you land on your designs and how you portray yourself as VTubers?
How did we land on our designs?
How did you choose your designs?
I can go first. So, is anybody familiar with the Monster Girl Encyclopedia? The Sacred Text. That's what I call it. For me, I've always been very into Monster Girls, and well, I love anime girls. For me, Monster Girls were definitely where it was at, and when I started VTubing, I actually thought about being a bunny girl. I know. I can't even imagine. The Lord drop right here. Yeah. I can't even imagine that it was a bunny. No, you can't, right? No. So the original concept was going to be a bunny girl, but actually a snake in disguise. And then we're like, well, that's going to be a lot of money to try to do 2 models out of the gate like that. So I was like, maybe I'll just be a snake. I hadn't actually seen many snake YouTubers around. And I was like, you know, Lamias are pretty sexy. I've always had Lamias. Lamias are nice. So I was looking through the monsters, like, the Apophis is really hot. So that's kind of where that started. And it was actually Zoan and actually my assistant Jay, if you're in my server, you know Jay. We actually had a little group chat going and we were throwing ideas around. And that's kind of how we came up with Vexoria. And we used the occultist as kind of like a base, and then we kind of changed her a little bit. Gave her bigger boobs. That's kind of where she came from. And I know that I have a deeper sounding voice, so it kind of just fit, all fit together that way. That's kind of where Vexoria came from.
Can you do the Downey Mommy voice for me?
Please.
Yeah. I really just wanted to hear it myself, but they did it true.
Oh, I can't wait to coil myself around you, you bad girl.
I think I just made an epic. Someone color, please.
Don't let Jesus, we're about to do something on this table. My turn? So I have actually had the name Tricky since I was little. I've always been really up to no good for a long time. Tricky and Trixie actually was a childhood nickname that I had. So like I just started to incorporate it in my usernames, that kind of thing. And then I'm a harpy dragon, and I like fruit, like eating kiwis. And I thought, oh, Trickywi. I've just made like my own little word, I guess. A lot of people think like the W is capitalized, but it ain't capitalized. It's just Trickywi. But when it comes to dragons, I have been obsessed with dragons since I was crawling, basically. And I also love birds and dinosaurs, that kind of thing. So I just decided to combine them together and make a feathered dragon character to, talk about I like talking about dinosaurs on screen here and there, and mythology in general, because mythology is honestly quite sick, and I can't get enough of it. So I just kind of combined everything that I like, and as you can see, I'm dark skinned, so that's why my model looks the way that it does, kind of based off of me and my interests. So,
What's your favorite kind?
Velociraptor.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a laughter game.
Oh, no? Sorry. Which one? This one?
Why not?
Why not? Sure.
Mim started out about two and a half years ago. Actually, we're almost at 3. But I wanted to have something like an original character that represented me and my journey, and I wanted to keep it separate from my voice acting career because I was not presenting female at the time. Mim was kind of my way to really explore that in a public setting. I also looked at the monster Great Encyclopedia, found the succubus, and I was like, I love that shade of blue for the skin, and that kind of, so that's kind of where Mim's original color palette came from. And what I really wanted was for people to experience someone that they knew and watched it, because we started Mim as more of as an incubus that was more than a voice sort of thing. And over the last 3 years, Mim has transitioned, as I have transitioned, and I wanted people to kind of have that experience of seeing what it's like with someone they know to kind of go through that, and hopefully help other people that are thinking about starting their own journey to know that it's okay, and it's you gotta live your life. You gotta live your identity to the fullest. And it's true what anybody else thinks,
We love it so
We
much.
love you all too. Thank you. We love you.
All 3 of you have been VTubing VTubing for at least 2 years. I think we might have actually all be at the 3-year mark now. I'm not sure where it's close, but you've been at this for a very long time, especially relatively. The VTubing is still very new, and a lot of people are still getting into VTubing. So what is
It's a little hard for me to hear him. Can you hear him?
Oh,
Yeah, we just don't have any more.
gotcha.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So, all 3 of you have been into VTubing for at least 2 years, and I think possibly 3 years at this point for each of you. And in relativity, that's a lot. VTubing is still very, very new, and a lot of people are still getting into VTubing. So what is the one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is considering or preparing to become a VTuber?
I'm not taking this one.
I would say you need to find, again, a character that is important to you in some way. Never design a character because you think it's what is popular or what other people, would expect of you and everything. Design a character that represents you personally, and especially if you want to make it a character, make it a performance as well. It can help so much to have that idea, have that identity, and then especially if it's something that's close to you and about your interests and everything, it's so easy. It's so much easier to go into it that way.
Yeah, 100%. I started content creation in 2010, I think, like actually as a job-ish, or at least like whenever I started getting paid for it at least. I have been pretty much everything. Like I was a YouTuber, I did like a lot of Pokemon content and like music and then Sonic the Hedgehog remixes and stuff like that. And it was really, really fun. And obviously like I have been through so many different transitions with my content. And in 2017 I started being just like a normal Twitch streamer. I had like a webcam on the bottom, I streamed like Apex, shiny hunting, that kind of thing. And whenever I actually transitioned into a VTuber, that was in 2021, whenever I actually found out what VTubing is, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I really like to do. I like writing OCs, original characters, I was a role player, and I didn't know that I can stream like that. And I was a theater kid too, so like, I like that kind of shit. So like, I was like, oh, so I can basically make a character that represents me as a streamer, but also like put a whole bunch of like fantasy elements into it, and really just have fun with that kind of thing, if that makes sense. And because like I do have my other character, like I said, Nubel, I would never be able to be Nubel for a full-time thing because she is just a character, where I can just basically have like episodes and something like that. She's a performance rather than like my main model, which is representing me. So I think that, like what Vinny said, you want a character that you can have fun with, but also be yourself. Because like if you're trying to be someone else as a full-time streamer, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
You're gonna be miserable. And it's like, your passion is just gonna keep going with any kind of content, whether or not it's, motherfucker. Whether or not it's, like, music or just, well, a lot of people like reacting to, but any kind of performance that you choose, like as long as you have that passion for it, you're gonna be able to keep going. And then if you have a new passion, you can add it to your content list. That's just basically how it goes, because you're always gonna have new ideas, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good.
I think you guys kind of hit the nail on the head about being yourself and adding yourself to your character. I know for me recently I added the breast cancer scar to my character to bring that as a topic of conversation in my streams.
I'm so happy, by the way, so congratulations.
Still a very positive light in the VTubing community, and people who have also struggled through breast cancer. And she had this awesome charity to help people as well. And it's always been positive. So I'm very, very happy that you recovered. And we know.
We love you. I appreciate you. Well, you're not allowed to make me cry on this podcast. No, that's kind of.
Should I go see her?
No, I think you guys are right with adding the personal like that to your character or really important. But I would say if you're getting started into VTubing or you're actually looking to get into VTubing, you actually don't need a model, right? No, you do not, because it is super expensive to get a model and cricket, and you can even start as a PNG.
I started as a PNG tuber. I was a PNG for like a year, actually, before I even got my first model. And it takes time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people feel like, oh, I have to get the most elaborate model.
You do not.
It's like, it's streaming is, well, VTubing is streaming with extra, like, pretty flair on it. But, like, pretty modeling isn't really get you anywhere.
And I'll be honest with you guys, I still have my original model. I'm 2.5 years into this. I haven't got it to 2.0 yet, or anything like that. And the model that I paid for, with the 5 expressions, was $1,500. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's, you know, it can be pretty.
It's big.
It's big purchase, yeah. So like, start small, because you have to see if you like streaming too.
Yeah.
Right? Because you may start, you may get all the stuff, and you may hate it, man, this is not for me, but I just dumped a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And now I'm living. So PNG tubing, I think, is the way to go to start out, just to see if you enjoy it or not.
And I completely forgot what I was going to ask you.
Welcome to the ABCC.
Started approach it as a hobby
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I've seen a lot of people actually spend thousands of dollars on a new gaming PC. All these graphics they've never seen in their life, but they like streamers, they like YouTube, and they're like, I want to do that. I want to be successful immediately, and they think that success is going to drop overnight.
No, you're not entitled to anything.
No, and they recorded one video, they quit. Completely. All that money wasted. Do not do video.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not good.
Be smart about it.
Yes.
So now we're going to give you all a chance to ask questions. So if you have a question in mind, please raise your hand. I will come around to you and you will be able to ask things. Please, if possible, make sure the questions are directed at all three, not just one, and that way we can have everybody talking.
Hey Joel, I'd like you guys to pick, yes, put your hand down, puppy.
Put your head down right now.
What if Papa might read the questions? Like, what if you tell him?
What if he did that? I mean, you've been working all weekend. You're trying to find out what's
You've been working hard for vacation.
Hello. I was wondering if y'all had any tips for networking with other VTubers.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think you have to go into, when you're networking, you're trying to talk to people, see, like, watch their stuff, see if you guys can vibe together, and go into it trying to make a genuine friendship. Because people will know right out of the gate if you're just like, hey, how are you, let's collab.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come off very genuine at all. Like, get to know somebody, I think is very important before we go and actually stream with them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that conventions are helpful as well. You can actually link up with a lot of other streamers who have the same interests and stuff like that. As for like the stream in general, I've actually befriended a lot of people who used to be a part of my community who just seemed cool and ready to get really good positive energy, and now they're my bots. So like, it really depends on your energy and things like that. If you're really interacting with somebody, as long as it comes off, and it needs to be a genuine connection with someone. You don't want to use someone for content. You don't want to use them as a stepping block to get to someone else, which also really happens a lot in this community. Never do it to use someone, but if you just actually genuinely like the person, like why not make friends and have fun?
It's true, and we all talk too. Content creators talk, so we are acutely aware who's doing what.
Yeah. It's also important to remember that, especially when networking networking online first. It can be very, very hard to really start those relationships, especially when the majority of the communication is in Discord. And it can be really hard, and it can be really hard. Like it can hurt because, but it's important to realize that we're all so freaking busy. And we have, a lot of us have ADHD and other stuff, but so it's really easy to get swept up in the work so much that you just forget that people exist, and you forget that people have messaged you and stuff until like, 2 months later you're like, oh, I was supposed to message them. And it's so going in there with the mindset of exactly what they said is probably the best. Just try to remember that it's really hard to start and maintain a friendship just over Discord.
I remember the first day you messaged me on Twitter, and I almost shit my pants. Because I had looked up to you.
Shut up.
I did.
Stop it.
No, it's true. I did, and I was like, woo! And I was like,
And now we're really close friends.
Yeah.
We got to we all went on vacation together like a little over a year, 2 years ago actually now. And it's just we've maintained that ever since. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, and our next question right over here.
Hi, as someone who works in a full-time day job that also wants to get into a creative outlet, do you have any advice for time management?
What was the last sentence?
Do you have any tips on time management?
Oh, bitch.
Me and Solomon always say, hey, we didn't want to work a 9-to-5 job, so we decided to work 24/7. That's content creation.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
I had 7 retail jobs before I started being a content creator. I worked all over the lovely sales associate, I've been a waitress, I've been a cashier, I've been like a front desk person. Time management, like I was really busy, like all the time. There was one point that I was actually working 2 jobs at once, and I was like about to eat my own asshole. And it's really hard because you come home and you're tired, but again, it's that passion that drove me to start. So like, honestly, I'll just take an hour break, and then I would record a video, or I'll record a song, and then I'll just upload it. But I'm really not thinking about it, because it's a hobby. It's just kind of like coming home and sitting in front of the TV or your computer, playing games, that kind of thing. If you have other hobbies, like obviously you can do that too. But it's honestly just whenever I have a free moment is the only time that I make videos and stuff like that. So,
I do find that a schedule helps too.
yeah.
I guess somebody that has a family and everything like that, hey, we're streaming from this time to this time, maybe a Monday night or every Thursday night, and that's how it's gonna be. And you stick to that schedule, it starts to become a routine for
Yeah.
And it can be really hard, especially with a full-time job, to make that happen. It's like you said, it has to start as a passion from.
And then again, ADHD takes the point I was gonna.
I remember it all.
Oh, honestly, low-key ADHD helped me because I hyper-focused. I hyper-focused, like what I wanted to do as soon as I got home from work, and I was like, oh, I like doing
Am I the only one that's panel without ADHD?
Yeah.
It's, that hyper-focusing, is it possible to learn this?
Yeah.
I constantly really want to say ADHD is a real good sword for me. Sometimes it really crosses me over, and sometimes it's tender.
These are tender. It's great for performance.
Not so great, not it.
Over here.
Hi, what is your favorite meme from each of your respective stream communities? So like, there's a meme your chat does a lot, what's like the go-to?
And when I first started this meme,
they kept spamming a jump quack sound effect.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, and because I was just like, I hate jumps. Like, they scared me. These little bastards. They have rows of dinosaur teeth and other weird equipment. But so I just started every time I do it. Every time I did it. You know? So I kind of just started there, and then the meme that's still going now is if someone asks me something that might break TOS and Johnny Twitch would look over me close to that band button would be if they ask a question. Next question. And they loved it so much that it became Nemo.
That's a good one. I have a few. Honestly, I made like a little mini joke when I first started about Hulk. I just kind of use it because it's close to cock. And a lot of people in my server and in my community spell cock as Hulk now, which makes me really happy. And actually, last Weebcon, Val got me a cock. She got me a cock, and it had busted on the dance floor. I was really upset about it, and then there was someone that had busted on, and they were like, "Trick, you busted your cock on me." I'm so sorry. But then this year, I got redemption cock, and someone got an actual cock and put a Starian's face on it. He's like, "Here, a Starian's cock." And then the other one is unfortunately prostate time. Prostate time. Well, you see, I had a friend who didn't know what a prostate was. He thought that everyone had prostates. So, so I had to explain to chat, and I have ADHD with that. So people who go to my streams know that it takes a long time for me to get into story time. And then people kept being like, prostate time, because I wanted to tell them about the prostate time story. And then I made a song about it, and Hello, so long. I'm going to still go walk. I'm going to still go walk.
And I'm a
Walk this walk. That's his favorite song.
Incidentally, prostate time was the title of my fantasy show.
Oh gosh, I guess probably there's a lot of things that the community does as well. The one that probably I would say the one that everybody calls me short. Because I'm a giant text, right? You know, skinny, short, motherfucker. I'm not sure. Are you kidding? No.
What are you?
I said 8.5 pretty much now.
Oh, yes.
No, but I'd say that one, the one that's currently going right now is Mommy. And like, you'll just spin it, and I'll be trying to react and watch stuff, and like, Jesus Christ, Mommy's trying to watch her show.
Right here. What? Where are you?
Right here, in the middle. Hello!
You're sat down.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I haven't done that much this weekend.
Let me know what you want me to serve.
Well, we have another question right here.
First off, hi Ben.
what's one piece of advice you would tell like middle school, like really young you? What would you say? Like, what's one piece of life advice you give?
Don't watch my stream.
Why would they want to know anything?
Actually, I did go all ages recently in January and separate.
Kids are playing.
Pretty nice, but we still talk about some fairly, not necessarily adult, but some young adult sort of stuff, especially LGBTQ issues and trans stuff, and we represent the kink community as well. The mission is always to just send a positive message of just like, hey, no matter what, we accept you here, and it's okay to feel these things and explore that and stuff. As long as you are not hurting anyone against their will, as long as you have consent, legal consent, you know, like, do your thing, like, let your free flag fly, even on Easter. What sort of advice would you give to younger people that are looking to this?
Also don't watch my screen. But like, I guess the big thing is you're never too old to drink. So I feel like kid me had this mindset that I wouldn't be able to have these passions forever. I think because like I had a phase where I felt like, oh, I can't like home in public, I can't like game in public, and then I quit all of that, and I was miserable because I like my nerd shit. So like I feel like honestly, keep dreaming because dreams honestly keep you going. And like obviously you have to be realistic for some things, but honestly, you're never too old to dream about things because you can honestly go anywhere in life if you believe in yourself. And that's like a really big thing that I wish that kid me about, because I actually tried to lie about like what I felt as a kid, because that's what everybody else was doing. And be yourself, basically. Or try to be anyone.
I would say really, really don't watch my stream. But I guess for kid me, piggybacking on what you said, you're never too old to start. I started vtubing when I was 34, 35. A lot of people say, oh, you're too old. You know, to me, that I don't know. You're never too old to do something that you love. No, I got my honors degree in psychology in my early 30s. So don't give up and don't think that it's over for you. Once you hit a certain age, because it's not. And you shouldn't give up on what you're really passionate about and what you want to do. It may take you a bit longer to get there, but nothing in life that you want will come easy to you. So you have to work for it. So be prepared to work. Get what you want.
100%. Like it's not gonna be easy, but you can do it, which is cool. So,
Yeah.
One thing that I've learned over the years, both going through the voice actor industry and now in this one, is don't put a cap on the time. Don't make yourself a timeline of like, if I don't do what I want by this time, then I'm a failure, and I should just quit and do something else. It took me 10 years for my voice acting career to really take off, and I was working fairly often, but I didn't. It took 10 years for me to start to get on, and then from then on, it just kind of built and built from there. And it was just me trying to be as patient as I can and just never giving up with that thought of like, I can do this, and I want to do this and prove to myself that I could do this and achieve it. So just don't quit. If you don't quit and you work as hard as you can and your authentic self, it will come to you eventually.
Over here, you're only too old to be dead. Yeah, that's it.
So the VTuber space is kind of growing, and we've seen in the past few years. How do you guys want to see it evolve or grow and become better?
I would like to see VTubers treated with more respect. And for
the value of what we do and our characters, and we are influencers. We are sending messages. We are trying to do our best in this, but it is also the way we make a living. And aside from like actors, like this is all entertainment industry. Like this is just the VTubing is kind of the latest big thing to really start to enter the entertainment sphere, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. Just like anime, what in the early 2000s was more or less like unknown to most people in the States, and nowadays the nerds run the world now, and anime just is at such an amazing place now. I want VTubers to get to that point as well, because in the entertainment industry, entertainers are the most exploited and exploitable workers in this country, and I want that to change.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. When you go on Twitter, sometimes you just gotta keep my feet going, wow, this whole thing is on fire, isn't it? It's on fire today. They gotta put that phone down.
We didn't start the fire.
We don't set the fire, we just watch it.
It was always right.
No, but some days you look at the community and you're just like,
Oh,
boy, yeah.
I tend to stay out now.
Yeah, it's important to do that.
Yeah. Do not ever throw your opinion into a dumpster fire because you just add gasoline to it and then you're dragged into that fire and it's really hard to get out of it.
It's honestly a waste of time to interact with tweets like that or anything like that because I feel like it's a bad idea. And honestly, people just need to learn how to stay in their lane. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and I think it's important too, people to realize is once you start getting into that, hey, look at all those brands and sponsors looking at your profile. Do you think they want to work with someone who's into all that stuff all the time? No, they certainly do not.
We like positive people, brands like positive people. No one likes someone who's gonna act like a middle schooler with these little cat fights here and there. Like, we ain't got time for that.
High school bullshit does not help you.
No, it really doesn't. We're all adults here, so like obviously there's gonna be some negativity here and there. Like we're human, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get mad at someone. There's gonna be some people that 100% you should block because I do not like accept any kind of racism, any kind of bitch ass talk pockets.
Any sort of hate.
Yeah.
Any sort of hate speech and threats.
Obviously you have to get rid of people. It goes. But like as in general, just you move on and you just try to be someone who's positive and give light to people rather than negativity or spreading negativity.
Yeah, I think that as content creators, we can see who's being shit.
Yeah, can I tell a quick story about someone being a shitter, but not realizing that they were actually giving me a compliment? So I'm in my stream, we're just kind of doing our own thing, and then someone comes in and first posts this massive wall of text in some form of Arabic, and then immediately posts the translation of that in English, and it was not kind. It was basically, the thing is, they were telling me that I'm going to hell and I'm because I'm not wearing my face. I'm showing my face and I'm not covering my head and everything. And then I realized that he thinks I'm a girl. And that's the most gender affirming thing that They got your hand in the whole thing. Let's make sure that Alright.
Hello, you three. Hi, Tricky. Saw you yesterday. Thank you again for signing the badge. for the three of you, as someone with autism, as well as ADHD, or also known as ADHD, I have almost constant burnout with the things I love. So I was wondering if you could give tips on how to deal with that burnout and give us examples of how you personally deal with burnout.
I was bad at that. I basically, for the first 3 years, lived a triple life. I was not only working full-time as a voice actor, Trickywi animation, but some other stuff. But I was also doing the conventions almost every other weekend. I usually do anywhere from 12 to 15 a year. And that's not 1 a month or anything. A lot of those usually hit in the summer, so it's like 3 or 4 in a row. Usually I have to leave on Thursdays, we usually don't get back until Monday, so that left me almost no energy to stream. And there was so many times where I just had to cancel stuff because I was so exhausted and having anxiety attacks. And it finally got to the point last year where I had a full-on breakdown. I was burnt out. I couldn't keep doing it. I didn't want to keep appearing in public as a male because it just hurt so much. And taking that break from the commons for a while, I stopped auditioning for new things, and I tried to just focus on men, because that was my passion project. Men still my biggest passion. They were my first OC, and I love her. I'm her, she is me. And yeah, that's it. You just, give yourself the time to rest. Stick to your schedule as best as you can. But when you start to feel that burnout, it will cause you nothing but suffering to keep going. It's very hard.
I'm someone who has a very hard time to stop in general. I've overworked a lot in my life where I didn't have any kind of energy or trying to do everything, and I was just rot in bed. Because it got to the point that, okay, I don't want to do anything anymore. And I honestly had something very similar where I was really burnt out on everything I was doing because I was streaming too much. I was doing a lot of things outside of streaming, and I just couldn't handle everything by myself. I don't have any management. So I do most of the stuff by myself. I have a fantastic mod team, and I pay 2 editors to keep up the YouTube clips and stuff like that. But I do mostly everything by myself, and sometimes it's hard, and even though it is a passion, it was important for me to kind of take a break from it for a little bit, because I was no longer doing it as a passion anymore. I felt like it was an obligation to keep going. And I had to step back and really do some healing and get into new hobbies. I started painting, which honestly helped a little bit. Things that I wouldn't even think that I would do, that kind of thing. I even got little colored pencils and sort of coloring here and there, just to get my mind off of what I was used to and hyper-focusing all the time. You do need to rest, and you need to maybe just do something that you would really think that you would like, and you might find some comfort into it, that kind of thing. So that's usually what I did, because I almost actually was building up to graduating until I realized that this is my passion. I was just looking at it in the wrong way, and I started overworking it, and it was actually killing me. So even if it's something that you really love, you need to love yourself. Yourself goes first over your job. Always.
For me, it was really hard last year because I was going through cancer treatment, and our house flooded. I was trying to raise 2 kids, one which is on the spectrum, and while trying to do content creation. I think for a lot of content creators, there's this fear that if you take a break, people are going to forget you. You're not going to come watch anymore after you come back. And they don't want to take a break. And I think it's important that you do take a break. And even though you may not recognize that you're burnt out, surrounding yourself with people that can tell you you need to take a break. You look tired, or you're doing too much. You should probably slow down. And having enough people in your life that you trust and that you can too, that can just, you know, really give back and doing too much is super, super important. I can be honest with you. And for me, it was very hard because I had like a 2-week break at most after the surgery. Probably should have taken more. But there was that fear that like, oh, well, you know, it's gonna come on, they come back. And you get in your own head a lot too. And there's a lot of anxiety too over taking a break. But it's very important for your mental health to take a break sometimes. And however that long that is, that's okay. And people will support you on that.
There are people who are willing to wait as long as it takes in these communities, and we love them, you know, and they keep coming back, and they're always there. It's pretty big.
Oh yeah. It was like, that was a big thing for me, it was like I stopped, like everything would just leave, everything that I worked for would just crumble. And like, I understand, I have ADHD, panic disorder, and all kinds of fun stuff, and I had to focus the negative a lot. So I understand how hard it can be to get out of that, but you can do this. I believe in you. Believe in yourself.
Okay, first off, ma'am, I'm also here on behalf of a friend of mine who sends his regards. You might remember him as someone who did an impression of the late Gilbert Gottfried in one of your streams.
Yes, I do remember. Please tell them I said hello.
So my question is, as someone who enjoys ruining my friends' days with cursed memes, terrible puns, and anyone knows, my question is, what advice can you give me to really ruin Easter for them?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What advice can you give me to really ruin Easter? What advice can you give me to really ruin Easter for my friends?
Oh, gotcha.
Grapefruit technique. Wonderful, very, very educational. No contest.
That's the slam dunk. I don't think we can do that.
Yes. Keeping us on top. That's there we go. Keeping us on top of the channel title. I know
I know a lot of curse ones.
Yeah, all I know is curse words. I think my favorite episode recently was just I'm sorry if that's offends anybody, but my friend Billy sent it to me explain that. It's a painting picture of Christ after coming out of the tomb and everything, and it says I'm gonna stay dead, and then the bottom just says lol JK. Yeah, for sure.
Hi. So, firstly, oh my gosh, thank you all for being here. You guys are easily all three of my emotions right here.
We love you so much.
So I wanted to ask, what are some of your favorite aspects of your individual communities?
The last part, one more time, favorite aspects of what?
Favorite parts of your individual communities?
Our individual
Community? Can I just say everything? Like, go serious, because I know my community wants to spend the lovely moments in chat, especially like on after that day. Like, if I say, hey guys, I'm not speaking today because shit happened. I'm not feeling great. They'll go and just spend a whole bunch of hearts. And just watching them be so genuine and sweet to each other and leaving kind messages for me to come back. Because I do read my Discord. I do see the things that people post. And that just really warms my heart for the content creator to see, you guys leaving those messages for me on a crap day. You don't have to do that, but you do. And that really just means the world to me. So that kind of stuff is just like, it makes you want to cry.
I can't really add anything to that. It's the same for my community, just a place of insane positivity and a lot of support for each other. And people talking about sharing their traumas, their experiences, their, everything. And people not only helping each other through those and encouraging each other, but it's like we're all seeking truth. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of conversations in order to find truth. And they're amazing.
Yeah, like, I have a lot of bad days too, just to add on to that. There's another one I want to talk about. But like positivity thing, like I've spent a lot of my life like being by myself and wanting I love my brother and my sister-in-law are here, and I love them so very much. Like and my grandfather, but everything else is pretty bad, so like I always crave like found family, and I honestly genuinely feel like my community is my family, and it's fantastic, and it feels like I'm home, and I love it. The other thing is like I'm a chaotic bitch, yeah? So the thing about it, my community is chaotic too, and I love it. They can be unhinged, they're very funny, and I don't know how y'all do things sound a little ridiculous. That's insane! Like, I'm like, oh, I would really like to make that. Oh, sorry. How do you do that? I was gonna say I'll make that hug. But no, there are some. Like, I'm making
You guys think it's lack of places where we don't. Yes, and I think like there are days that we've all had them where we're like, I don't really feel like screaming. But then when we get in the stream and we see you guys talking and you guys make us laugh, sound alerts, or just general things you're saying, it's just, we instantly just right now. You guys like really change our lives. Thank you.
First of all, thank you for citing my research. Yes! I'm very excited to take that on. So, as somebody with very severe ADHD with memory loss and what feels like physical barriers to doing things, have you ever had like a moment where you sat down and you felt like you literally could not do it? And if you did, how did you get through it?
I don't have ADHD, but when I was going through my cancer treatment, there were times where I literally thought, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. I'm just too sick, and I feel too bad. And I think for me, it was really just having friends, and then having someone over there telling me, like, you can't do this. Today's just a really bad day, and we'll get through today. We won't worry about tomorrow. We'll just worry about getting through today right now. Take some time for yourself, and take some time to do self-care, because that's super important. Whether that's when you have a bath or safe, effort. I mean, you can understand that. But like, do things that are going to ground you, and so you can do more things tomorrow. Whether it's stream or not stream, but
Again, ADHD thing. Okay. It is very important to remember when you have things like ADHD or broad ADHD or clinical depression, panic attacks, panic disorder, those sort of things. It is very, very important to learn how to counteract that by reminding yourself that this is something that is mostly out of your control. It is something you can take responsibility for and look through it, and that's a necessity.
And hopefully other people in your life will meet you halfway and meet them halfway. The important part is to remind yourself that this is something that's not necessarily under your control, and that can help you to get out of it, because it reminds you that this thing's lying to you right now, and it's telling you these things. And you gotta learn to not believe it, not listen to it. It's a habit-forming thing, and it takes work. But once you achieve it, you never lose it. Yes. And that doesn't mean that you don't continue to have those issues or anything. It just is giving you the management tools. You are working towards giving yourself the tools you need to manage it.
That was a little sad. I have had a lot of moments like that because I have severe ADHD where I freeze completely whenever I get overwhelmed, and a lot of moments where I just couldn't get out of bed. What eventually got me out of that was being like, okay, yes, I have a problem, I need to ask for help. Because one of the things that I used to be so afraid to do was ask for help. The other thing is I took the hottest shower in the world, and I reflected on all the bad stuff, and then I reflected on all the stuff that I was grateful for. And sometimes you kind of hyper-focus like the negative stuff instead of the positive stuff, and all the people that you actually have, and then like have a house, or not even a house, or just have like a roof in general, like it's been a struggle for a lot of us. Yeah, but you know, we're getting there. And just to ground yourself and to be like, okay, I can get through this because I made it through all the other ones before. You've had a lot of bad days in the past, but you got through that. So that's fucking sick, right? So like, just know that you're gonna get through it again, and then that's gonna drive you to keep going even further. You're gonna have bad days continuously, but there's a lot of good ones coming your way. Everyone has a very bright future, if you really believe so.
It's about perspective.
Yes.
We have time for one last question, and I think it's a really good one.
Hi, what is one positive memory you guys are going to take away from this convention today?
From the convention?
Yeah.
You!
That's the main reason why we go. Like, yeah, sure, there's like business stuff here and there, but like, we want to see and communicate with our community and stuff like that, because you are the, you know,
we would not be here if it weren't for you. Thank you. That's it.
What was one more time? What was the, oh, neighborhood community. It really is the same thing, because while it's amazing to get to interact with our communities, both in chat and in our Discord communities and stuff like that, this is the place where we get to truly experience what not only your support but your love for us, and get to hear the things that are meaningful to you about our content, and it also helps us to keep going, because that we get to see that smile on your face, that love in your eyes, and it's so powerful. So thank you so much.
For anybody who may have just discovered the community today, where can they find you online?
Where can they find me? You can find me on Twitter at Vexoria The Sun Eater. And search a little bit because I'm probably shadowing.
Shares them? Really?
I'm on Twitch at Vexoria __ Sun Eater. I also have the Quack app. I'm on YouTube as well. And I'm on
same goes for Instagram. I also have Instagram with Trickywi, but an extra I, but that's just if you want to follow the IRL stuff. Then my Twitch is Trickywi with one I, how it's supposed to be, and that's just spelled Tricky, W-I. And I have a YouTube, I have 2 YouTube channels. One is Trickywi, which has like all of my music and like my old top 10 Pokemon videos and stuff like that, old playthroughs and 5 Nights at Freddy's content. And then I have Trickywi Vtuber, which has my YouTube, that's my other YouTube that has a lot of very unhinged VTuber clips. And then, let's see. I think that might be it.
That's a lot to remember.
I think that's it. Oh, I had a TikTok when I'm banned.
Wait, hold on a second. Is your butthole equal rhetoric too?
I don't know.
Mine is.
I'm pretty sure I got hacked. Like, because I don't use TikTok, but my account was hacked. Or not hacked, it was banned. So I'm assuming that someone hacked me and then posted something and got it banned. It wasn't me this time. It was not me. I didn't do it. But, yeah, I think that's all of mine, yeah.
You can find me on X. You can find me on the tweet and the Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. I kind of uploaded some stuff to TikTok or YouTube in a continent, but again, I'm finally having to flip it again, so that should be starting again. You can find me at all of them, including the Twitch as at Mimcubus. It's the name. It's that for everyone.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
We love you so much. We hope you had a great time.
It's 3 o'clock.
Oh, we did it. Full out of it.
Thank you all so much for coming. Have a fantastic rest of your convention.